This is a maybe a true story, maybe not. Years ago, the emperor of Russia was called the Tsar. He had a dear friend who died, and the friend asked the Tsar when he was dying to raise his little boy, to adopt his son and raise him. And so the Tsar did. He adopted the little boy and he raised this young man, educated him, clothed him, everything, gave him a military career. The young man went into the army, the Russian army. He became an accountant of a pretty large part of the army. He actually rose up into an administrative role, but he had a gambling and drinking problem. And he began to embezzle money to make good his debts, his gambling debts. One night, he was sitting and looking at the books, and he realized the jig was up. He realized that he wasn't going to be able to cover up anymore, that the shortfalls were going to become evident. And he had a gun there, and he said, I might as well just, the best thing to do would be to kill myself. I won't be able to stand the dishonor of it. And so he also had a bottle, and he was drinking himself to get himself ready to kill himself. But he actually went past the place of drinking too much, and he passed out. And the story goes like this. The Tsar was the kind of man who every so often would dress up as an enlisted man. He would go in disguise and go out amongst his people or amongst the ranks to see what the morale was like. And this was one of the nights in which he had dressed up in a corporal's uniform. He was going out to see how things were going. And the Tsar comes into the room where he sees this young man passed out over the books. And he looks at the books. He realizes what's happened. And when the young man wakes up, he sees a note signed by the Tsar, sealed with the Tsar's ring, saying, I will make good this debt. And he realized the Tsar had seen his sin, had seen his heart to the bottom, but had forgiven him. Now, the fact is that God has come into this world in a corporal's uniform, as Jesus Christ. He became a human being. He looked deep into our hearts. He saw us falling. Remember, his disciples fell asleep on him in the Garden of Gethsemane. He's up there on the cross, and there's people mocking him and denying him and betraying him and running away from him. And in the greatest act of love in the history of the universe, he stayed and he died for us. And when you see him doing that, do you believe he's done that? If you embrace him doing that, that will start to reorder all the loves of your heart. And that is it. That love is what you're looking for. You can find what you're looking for.